So the Fujifilm X100 VI is already breaking pre-order records, right? With over 500,000 pre-orders in China from what I read online. And so today we're going to talk about a little bit more about this camera, about my opinions about it, and whether or not it is worth purchasing. Now this is not a review nor a hands-on experience. I haven't received the camera yet. And stay until the end of the video because I have a little announcement to make. But this is more about giving my opinion and what I think about the camera so far. So first of all, let's talk about what the camera brings compared to the previous generation. The X100 V was already extremely popular, extremely successful product for Fujifilm. In fact, it has been one of the most popular camera of 2021, I think. Maybe 2022 as well, correct me if I'm wrong. So what is the new camera, the X100 VI generation, bringing to the table? Well, first of all, we have a new sensor. We now go from 24 megapixel to 40 megapixel. And this is the same sensor that you can see on the Fujifilm X-T5 that I'm actually using right now to film this video. So it's a boost in resolution, which is good, especially when it comes to a fixed lens body, right? Because you are able to crop in a little bit more and still keep some of that resolution. So you can push your images to get some extra focal length equivalent by zooming in digitally and still have some decent resolution for anything, for small prints or as well as social media if you are into that. You are also able to get 6.2K resolution when it comes to video with such a small body and such a portable body, right? So you have a 6.2K resolution up to 30 frames per second, as well as 4K up to 60 frames per second, which is pretty much what you have in the Fujifilm X-T5. So this is quite equivalent in there. So in terms of video, you have an extremely capable camera that shoot 10-bit 422 as well, so very competitive even with other mirrorless camera in the current market. Now another thing that the Fujifilm X100 Mark 6 Generation 6 brings to the table is the IBIS system that now has 6 stops of image stabilization. With those 6 stops of image stabilization, well, you can now lower your shutter speed even more and take advantage of this image stabilization when you don't necessarily have too much movement in your frame. And this also helps for video, right? So another advantage that you get here. You also have extra film simulation with the Real Ace. And if you've missed it, I made a video dedicated to that when I tested the GFX 100 Mark II. So Real Ace, oh, let me get a package real quick. Okay, so what was I saying? The new Real Ace, yes, that is the latest Fujifilm simulation. That is pretty much a mix between Provia and but a little bit more cooler than Provia. And the good thing is that it will also be brought to the X-T5, X-H2S, and X-H2. So if you have those cameras, you will also be able to take advantage of this film simulation. Now another improvement that it has over the latest generation, the X100 V, is the processor. Now thanks to the new processor, you are now able to take advantage of some technologies such as touch to track, AI subject detection of people, cars, plane, animals, etc., which makes it for a much more compelling value proposition for the market, right? Because usually this type of camera is very geared toward the general user that really wants to kind of enjoy photography, but also doesn't want to go too much into details when it comes to settings or manual modes, etc. And having this additional amount of technology to it to make it even easier for them to use is, I think, is even more important on the X100 series. Okay, so now one big thing that I wish Fuji really improved compared to the previous generation was the battery. Pretty much every single new generation camera from Fujifilm does not have the old battery anymore. And having to go back to that old generation battery, although this camera is mostly photography centric, I understand, but still having to go back to that previous generation battery is, I think, kind of a miss. I wish that they would have gone for something, you know, latest generation, like in the X-T5, X-H2 or X-H2S. I do understand that this battery is thicker and the shape makes it that it's ideal for cameras who have grip, but I still think that this is an improvement that would have been, I think, possible to make, but they just did not go through with it. Okay, so the X100 V was already a huge success. The X100 VI has now broken records when it comes to pre-orders, right? Will it be a success? Most definitely. But should you get an X100 VI if you already have the X100 V? Well, potentially, I don't think that the users who already have an X100 V necessarily need the X100 VI, right? Because pretty much, okay, you have all the improvement that I mentioned earlier, but for most users that have the X100 V, having the X100 V is more than enough already, because they don't use that professionally and they can live without the potential improvements, right? However, there are definitely improvements. And I'm really happy that Fujifilm released the X100 VI, because the secondary market was getting crazy with the X100 V mania, right? The X100 V was being sold everywhere at almost twice the price of the original release, while being used models, and this doesn't make sense at all. So having new models on the market will hopefully make the price of the X100 V decrease, as well as bring down the price to normal for also the X100 VI, and hopefully Fujifilm will produce more and more of this model in the future and allow the X100 VI to keep its price to a reasonable one. So what do you think about the X100 VI? Are you going to get one? Are you not going to get one? Personally, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to get one or not. I most likely not, but, and that's the announcement, is that in 2 days I'm going to get the Fujifilm X100 VI, and I will make a lot of video to test, or just to vlog, or just some street photography on the channel, because I really want the people who are debating whether or not they should get this camera to really see what it's capable of, maybe to take it for some professional shoots as well, and to really get a hang of it through the videos, right? So I really want to share with you all my experience and everything that I think about this camera, so that you can also make an informed decision for yourself, and yeah, just decide whether or not you want to get one. So if you want to know more about the X100 VI and want to see more about it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, because more and more videos are coming about the X100 VI. Thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.